author Brian K. Morris comes an epic tale of armor forged by a god, a hero forged by courage, and an ancient menace poised to re-emerge and threaten our world. Volcana, Rebirth of the Champion, is available on Amazon.com. Get your copy today.
Welcome to Nevermind the Furthermore with your host, Brian K. Morris, independent publisher, freelance hybrid author, award-winning playwright, and former mortician's assistant. Beware, beware. That might not be a phone jingling in your pocket. Join the Nevermorians for morning mischief and madness at 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 Central. Your sense of humor is the only thing you need to wear.
Right here. Good morning, everyone. How the heck are you? Hope you're having a great hump day already. And we're facing February 3rd, 2021. Those of you who aren't stuck in eternally reliving Groundhog Day yesterday. Anyway, thank you for being here. Welcome to Nevermind the Furthermore. And we hope you're looking forward to a great day. Thank you for watching us, whether you're watching us on the rerun or you're watching us live and can interact with me. I appreciate you all. And if you're watching us on Facebook, on Kathy Jackson's books or Rising Tide Publications page, please, if you enjoy any part of this video, please give it a like, and also please like the page you're watching on. That means a lot to the people who put that page together that you're enjoying this from. Also, if you're watching us on YouTube, on the Brian K. Morris Rising Tide Publications channel, please, as always, give this a thumbs up if you would. Please subscribe to the channel and hit that bell. Just go pow. You'll hurt, and you won't hurt your knuckles. I promise. I promise you won't. And please be notified of any other events that we have coming up on the network. And speaking of events coming up, today's going to be a busy day. Let's see. After the show today, let's see. Actually, the rest of the network gets a day off, except I'll be on the Dastardly Dingoes podcast tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central Time with Christian Basil and the usual dingo-ish crew. And we're going to talk about imposter syndrome, although don't be surprised if the subject varies from there. But anyway, please tune in and bring your questions with you. We'd love to have a conversation with you about it. Now, tomorrow is Joe Dog Day because he's got two shows coming up at 12:05 Eastern, 11:05. He's got lunchtime at the Doghouse. Always a good time. Always a fantastic time talking with Joe Dog. And 9 p.m. Stupid O'Clock happens, part of the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. And it's that great after-hours conversations that you love to have where you're not sure where it started and you sure as heck can't figure out where it's going, but there it is. And anyway, it's a lot of fun, very intelligent, very funny talk. And also tomorrow night at 8 p.m., Amy Hale, who is part of the network too, is relaunching the new season of Creative as Hale. And she got somebody who's going to try to make it a hell of a good show, and that's me. I'm going to be on her inaugural show, and I'm very happy about that. And then Friday will be, of course, Nevermind the Furthermore at 10 a.m. and then the Historical Fencing Guild at 8 p.m. Also, the Green Room at 8 p.m. with Uncle Carl and Aunt Donna and a whole bunch of really crazy people. Then Saturday at 11 p.m., Stupid O'Clock returns for more stuff. And don't forget, after the Stupid O'Clock shows, there's usually an after show, which gets a little raucous, and that's a lot of fun. And anyway, please check in with them. Check in with also our friends at the Hanging with Web Show Network. and the great the shows they do. And also, we want to thank Plasma Fire Graphics for sponsoring this program. As always, Plasma Fire Graphics, when the look of your book matters to you, because it matters. It does. That's the thing that people, excuse me, look at and get enticed to pick up whatever you're offering. And so check him out. He also does book trailers, obviously, and great promotional graphics. So check in with Jeffrey Hayes and the amazing work he does at Plasma Fire Graphics. When the look of your book matters to you, plasmafiregraphics.com. And they have a page on Facebook, but who doesn't anymore, right? In fact, a lot of people use their Facebook page as their website, which is kind of interesting. But anyway, let's see what else we got going on. I think that's it. Also, this show is powered by by Geek Insider. Check out their amazing array of shows, plus wildoneforever.com with Meredith Walkren. Always a great way to start your weekday morning. And now let's get to your questions. Now, who was first this morning and at what time? It was Trevor Hawkins at 8:13. Good to see you, sir. Hope your morning's going well. And no, that's people aren't showing up at 8 o'clock, man. Or 9 by then. You know, poor Trevor's getting lonely. And Brian looks so different with hair on his pate. Yeah. And you probably remember, you might remember where that's from. The picture that was today's thumbnail was taken at the Superman celebration way too many years ago, probably, gosh, around 12, 15 years ago or so. But it was kind of like a 50s night dance and get together. Excuse me. And so I bought for the occasion from our local costume shop. I bought like a cheap Elvis wig. And it was kind of fun to have that thing. And I remember it was like me and Cookie and Janet Spar trying to run hula hoops. 2 out of 3 of us could do it. But anyway, Teresa Dunn checks in. Good to see you, Juan. Good morning, Brian, and fellow artists, creators, and furthermorians. Hey, I like that, furthermorians. We're furthering our careers. And XG Studios is here early. Glad to see you. Good morning, all. Clever title pending last night. Great clever title pending last night, Brian. Thank you so much, Joe. Yeah, last night, if you didn't catch it, please catch clever title pending last night, from last night, rather. We had Michael Watson on, who does a lot of great stuff from Chat and Draw. Oh, and I should check. Did he make his 100-person mark? Let's refresh that. And rather than wait for that, we'll let that happen. I will just, but anyway, no, he's got a Kickstarter campaign, which, by the way, I wonder if I can still do that. Hold on. I haven't clicked. No, we have not. We have not. So we can put that up there. Yeah, Michael Watson is a great artist, a terrific artist. And what a story he had to tell last night. Plus, he is a super promoter. He is the most enthusiastic man in comics. He makes me look like I've been shot with an elephant tranquilizer. He is just so much fun. And it looks like he still needs 4 backers. So this morning, let's surprise Michael, shall we? Let's see. And oh man, I've got all kinds of cool people that's showing up here. Rising Tide Publication says, check out a great book of artwork by Michael Watson at this address. You may have to put an HTTP : / in front of that. But anyway, check that out. That's Chat and Draw by Michael Watson. He wants 4 more people to pledge for that book, and it can just be $1. There's like an algorithm thing that happens when you hit 100 people that buy your work, and the thing is, Chat and Draw, he has these wonderful conversations with various creators while he's drawing their characters live on the air, and it's a fun show. He really gets some good interaction going with his guests, and he was on last night, just happy and charming and wonderful. He was sensational, and he is definitely going to come back. I promise you all. And a lot of people enjoyed the show last night, and I'm really grateful for that. And that's one of the things I like doing. I didn't know Michael all that well. It was a great time for me to get to know him. And also, I like to bring on people that you guys don't regularly get to see. Now, I like having the regular crew come on here, but every now and then we like having people come on and just let people get to know him. And Joe DVF, we're going to be talking soon. We're going to get you on here too. And Teresa Dunn says, I am ready for the craziness happening in here today. Darling, nobody is prepared for the craziness that happens in here. And there's Ted Davies Artistry. Good morning, all. Good morning to you, Ted. A pleasure and a delight to have you here. Brought up the Kofefe, got more brewing downstairs. Don't forget, you can get your cup at Rising Tide Publications merch shop, and we have the address in our comment, not in comments, but either above if you're watching on Facebook or below if you're watching on YouTube. So please check it out. We've got all kinds of cool merchandise you can get, masks, and if I can get my I got my earplug wrapped around it. How'd that happen? Anyway, but we have like Rising Tide breathing masks. We have phone cases, t-shirts, tote bags, and of course coffee mugs, which I love. And Willow Skylar, mwah, thank you for sharing the video, and thank you Jessica Johnson, mwah, for sharing my video. It makes me very happy, and you both of you ladies make me very happy too. And anyway, and Ted Davies, please check out TED Talks yesterday on TedDaviesArtistry.com, Ted Davies Artistry on Facebook and on YouTube. And please sign up for his YouTube page. He needs more subscribers. He deserves more. He's awesome. But anyway, yesterday he was talking about the Tao of Ted and how Taoism has influenced his life and how he does business with people. And it was just quite a entertaining show and a lot of deep thought in there. So Ted is our guru around here. So yeah, very cool show. Very, very cool show. And Michaela Jade, who I think probably had a very good day yesterday, got an editing gig. And just so happy to see you. Michaela, hope you're doing well. And everyone, Teresa says, Michaela. And Michaela says, I'm up to 82 subs. Yeah, 100 doesn't seem that far away. And the thing is, here's something I found out. When you have like a growth spurt, Christian, don't get excited. The algorithms read that as you're deserving more attention, so it kind of feeds on itself. So, you're right. You're going to be at 100 in no time. So please check out author Michaela Jade on YouTube, and please subscribe to her channel. She's starting to do some broadcasting of her own, and it is awesome. And speaking of awesome, there's Joe Dog McKeel. Good morning to you, my friend. And Joe Dog will be on, don't forget, at 12:05 Thursday afternoon. That's tomorrow, with lunchtime at the Doghouse. And we'll talk about his plumbing and other wonderful things. And Joe and Michaela, hey, from Ted Davies. And hey, Ted, hey, Teresa. And Real Accomplishment. Yeah, that's what that's what last night was about. Because Mike Watson not only has a successful broadcasting thing going, he's also got a successful comic book company going that's very inclusive, very diverse. And I was just blown away by it when I started researching what he does to find out the length and breadth of all he's got going. And the man juggles it all and still has a family life. It was a great episode last night, and it's one well worth seeking out. So please check it out. Wherever you're watching this episode, you can see it on there too. And everyone's saying hi. Hello, Joe Dog. And there he is, the one, the only, who I'll be appearing with tonight. Christian Basil represents the legend of the traveling TARDIS. Please sign up for that YouTube channel as well, if you would, please. But anyway, let me get a couple of announcements here. And Russell Allen, good morning to you. Glad to see you yesterday. And the Eric Hawkins, as always, a pleasure, sir. But anyway, let's get to the legend of the traveling TARDIS. Okay. Arise, Wednesday Morris Monster, arise. As they say in Life of Brian, bring out your humps, bring out your humps. I mean, that's what they said, right? Yeah, I believe you're right. Oh, anyway, hold on here. Thank you, honey.
You're welcome.
All right. Did you get you some?
Yes.
Okay.
You first.
Well, of course, honey. Duh. Oh, morning blend. Anyway, Kroger's morning blend. But anyway, then it's continued. All right. Oh, and didn't mention the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS LLC has a YouTube channel. I mentioned it first. You should subscribe, hit that bell, share with friends. That's what Randolph Scott would do. And, Randolph Scott, right? I mean, movie star, war hero, he did it all. So anyway, morning peeps, morning to you. Eric Merrick is watching us from YouTube and from Facebook. Thank you very much, Eric. I appreciate that. And Tyrone Tony Reed Jr., my friend. Happy hump day, everyone. Have a wonderful and productive day. TyroneTonyReedJr.com. Check out his Solad series, great book series. And we got to get you back on the Clever Title Pending sometime, Tony. Anyway, glad to see you here, man. Hope you're having a great morning, man. And Charles F. Millhouse, always a pleasure to see you working on your story. There is a cover reveal for the Doomsday Blitzkrieg I co-authored with Lawrence Everett on my group author, Charles F. Millhouse Presents. Check out that page. Charles has got content all the time, all kinds of cool stuff going on in the new pulp movement. And I'm privileged to be a part of it and to be a part of Pulp Reality issue 1, soon to be issue 2, and I've got an idea for a story, Charles, for issue 3. And Charles is like, oh God, not you again. But anyway, please check out the Charles F. Millhouse Presents. He's got some great stuff, and also check out Stormgate Press. Great publications, such as He Wants Another Cup of Coffee. He wants another drink. So anyway, check out what Stormgate Press offers.
Choose high-flying action. Choose death-defying escapes. Choose spine-tingling thrills. Choose nail-biting intrigue. Now's your chance to choose the adventure. The Captain Hawkland Adventures. Available on Amazon.com.
Choose the adventure. Choose Charles F. Millhouse books, available on Amazon. He's got not just that, what you see there, but Absolution is awesome. That's a great science fiction book. He's got a lot of great stuff with more down the pipeline. Please check out the work of StormgatePress.com. And I'm looking forward to that cover reveal, Charles. And Teresa Dunn, here's Brian, a man of many faces and the brains of Rising Tide Publications. No, that's Cookie. The talk of the internet. Oh, dear God, what are they saying? Come on, check out the best man on the podcast, the man himself, Brian K. Morris. Oh, come on, Teresa. No, seriously, come on, please, more of it. My ego can use it. Anyway, no, thank you, Teresa. That's so sweet of you. You are awesome. And Joe Dog will be in lurker mode today. Joe Dog, we're just glad to have you here, brother. I hope your day is going well, sir. And speaking of going well, it's going better because mine is going better because I'm getting to talk to Kelly Austin, who is in Pulp Reality #1 from Stormgate Press. Please check out that book. And good morning, everyone. Hearty salute to you, Brian. This Arctic-like cold morning. Oh, darling, mwah, glad to see you here. I just wanted to stop by for a moment to say hello. Hello, Kelly. I've got so many deadlines to reach that I'm going to be writing all day and night to try to make some substantial progress. You and me both, sweetheart. Everyone, please have a safe and great day. Love to all. Brian, talk to you soon, friend. Darling, mwah, looking forward to it. Glad you're on the mend. Kelly got herself a real good concussion recently. Can you tell I've had about 2 or 3? But anyway, Kelly is on the mend and creating, and I'm so proud to see that. That makes me so happy. Kelly, thank you for being here. Mwah. And author Kathy Jackson, oh, darling, have a good morning, everyone. Hugs. I hope everyone is having a great day. I'm having a great one because I know you're here. Kathy Jackson books, please check them out. Available on Amazon. She writes she writes inspirational romance, and if you like a little spice in it, ooh la la! You check out Kathy. Check out her books. Jericho's Walls is one I'll recommend. Where I'm like reading. I'm like, whoa! Holy cats! When did the temperature just increase in here? So seriously, check out author Kathy Jackson on Amazon. Also, please check out Kathy Jackson's books on Facebook. And thank you, Kathy, again for letting me put my program on there. That is so sweet of you. And everyone's saying hi to Teresa, saying hi to Kathy, and saying hello to Amy. Amy who? Amy Hale. That's who. Good morning, all. Mwah. Amy Hale, glad to see you. Author Amy Hale on Facebook, authoramyhale.com, and also Amy Hale's Angels. And like I said at the top of the show, she is starting a new season of Creative as Hale, and I am the first guest. I'm so excited by that because we always have a good time when we start talking, and Lord knows where it's going to wind up. So anyway, please check out Amy Hale. Check out her book. She is fantastic. What a great writer. Seriously, I am in awe of her. I really am. All you guys, you don't know how much I sit back here and I'm like, holy cats, I wish I could do that. That's great. And morning, Kathy and Amy from Michaela Jade and Willow Schuyler. Ooh, mwah. Darling, morning, my friends. Hope your Wednesday is off to a great start. Just peeking in here for a quick look-see. Have to go get back to work right away. Well, darling, thank you for being here. Thank you for continually promoting this show. We genuinely love you, and thank you for being here and being my friend. You are also so very awesome. And please keep an eye out for Willow's Pillow Talk. Usually happens on the weekends. She has some great conversation with all kinds of creators, writers, and artists, comic book people, local broadcasters. That was a fun show to watch. Please, but follow Willow Schuyler. She's also the information mistress at the Hanging with Web Show Network. And she does a great job. She really does. I need a Willow Schuyler in my life. Wait, I've got one. But anyway, Joe Dog McKeel, as of right now, Brian's 5 shows tomorrow, 1 a.m. and 5. Oh, wow. 5 shows tomorrow. Holy cats. 1 a.m. and 5:15 a.m. for Armchair Rocket Science. And I watched, I didn't miss it. I made like the last 5 minutes live on it yesterday. And oh my God, I didn't even have time to get a pucker factor going for that shot when I was watching it on the rerun. That was a launch of Elon Musk's spaceship, and that spaceship looked like Fireball XL5 to a degree, if you remember that, Joe. Or like those 50s TV science fiction shows. But it was an really impressive launch of the SR9 yesterday. And now I'm not going to tell you how it ends. Spoiler alert. I'm not going to tell you how it ends, but thank God we've got SR10 waiting on the pad. But anyway, 1 a.m. and 5 a.m. for Armchair Rocket Science, 12:05 for lunchtime at the Doghouse, and then Stupid O'Clock at 9, and then the 11 p.m. Stupid After Show. Joe Dog, you own Thursdays, brother. You own Thursdays. And I gotta say, I did enjoy. I know it was quite a long show for you yesterday at the lunch show, but you did a great job on that. You really did. It was a lot of fun, and I'm gonna have to have my Fez standing by in case you need help. So I'm throwing that out there. But anyway, check out Joe Dog. Apparently, will be broadcasting every waking hour tomorrow. But Armchair Rocket Science is a great show. But yeah, watching the SR9, the purpose of the SR9 yesterday was to go, I believe, 10 kilometers up in the air, and the boost, the launch rocket, there's 3 of them down below the base of the spacecraft, and then they tested how it would accelerate going up with only 2, and then they killed one of those, and then they had one that was simply keeping the rocket hovering in place. And I'm like, wow, that's quite the accomplishment. And then they were going to let the top of the craft drop, and it would glide back to where the launch pad was, and still is. And then activate the rocket so it would tilt back up again and make a 3-point landing back on the launch pad. And I agree with both of you guys, Joe, that it should have started the burn sooner. It's like they waited till the absolute last minute, which may have been their plan, to see just how the rockets would overcome that much gravity and momentum. But yeah, I think for a successful one, they need to start that thing a little sooner than what they did. And I felt the same thing about the SR8 when I was watching that crash. But anyway, uh, check out tomorrow. All kinds of good stuff on the Rising Tide Broadcast Network, and Joe Dog is generating most of it, all of it tomorrow. Anyway, and hugs to everyone there from author Kathy Jackson, and also please don't forget, there's a wonderful Kickstarter campaign with and we just had a comment dump. Check out the Michael Watson's chat and draw comic art. Oh, I take it back, folks. We just hit 100. Thank you, Nevermorians. Thank you, Nevermorians, for making that happen. And so far, Michael has had a initial goal of $2,500, and now is at $4,461. Thank you, Nevermorians, for your pledges to that great project. Doesn't that look beautiful? I mean, seriously, check out that web address, and let's put him over. Let's put him over to 125. And if he says anything, make sure he knows you're an Nevermorian. All right. All right. Congratulations to Michael Watson for hitting his 100 backer goal. Let's see how much higher we can get before the end of the show. And Willow Schuyler says, morning to all the great people here on Facebook as well. Well, darling, you are foremost among them, sweetheart. Glad to see you here as always. And Eric Hawkins, chat and draw comic art books make 100 via Kickstarter. And there we go. Thank you, Eric Hawkins. Thank you for that post there, man. Yeah, that's a good looking project. Michael's such an amazing artist. It's like I was telling him last night that I don't remember who he was interviewing, but Michael was fussing. He had like hands. You see, hands are very hard to draw. There's something like, 46 bones in the human hand. And the way everything hooks up, hands are very difficult for most artists to draw. Two of my favorites were, George Tuska, who had great hands, could pose them like, very expressive. Pete Morisi, who created Peter Cannon Thunderbolt. And he did a great job aping that style too. But George Perez is very good with hands, but a lot of artists don't really use them to the maximum effect because they are relatively difficult to draw. But Michael was fussing over, he did a great job on this pair of hands, and and he's like, well, I'm not satisfied. So since he's drawing digitally, he can like erase and stuff easily, and they just kept getting better and better and better. And but anyway, yes, please support the chat and draw. There's still time. He's still got 5 more days to go, and I wouldn't mind. I'm sure he wouldn't mind either if he hit 110 or even 125. Let's see what we can do. Definitely check it out. It's great stuff. And I guess it's time to roll out of bed and get some breakfast. Michaela Jade, breakfast is a good idea. I haven't even had mine yet. Yeah. And author Kathy Jackson wants to know, what's for breakfast, Michaela? What's for supper, Grandpa? I haven't had breakfast. Well, I guess I've had breakfast. I'm on my second cup of breakfast. Oh, by the way, speaking of a cup of ambition, I saw Dolly Parton has got is going to participate in an ad for the Super Bowl, which of course is the only reason to watch that silly thing. The problem is they keep interrupting the good stuff with this football game, and I'm really sick of it, but no, she's got one. And I saw John Travolta is recreating the Born to Hand Jive dance that he originally did with Olivia Newton-John in the movie Grease, but he's doing it now in his backyard with his daughter. And I'm so looking forward to that. And a number of the videos are being leaked out on the YouTube right now, so please check it out, and then you won't have to watch that stupid football game. I have no idea who's playing, and all I know is that one of the teams is in their home stadium for the first time in decades. And I'm not even who's the halftime entertainment. I think it's Miley Cyrus, maybe, but yeah, I'm just so totally not into football these days for some reason. But anyway, the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS has offered to make breakfast for Michaela. Let's stay in bed. And honey nut Cheerios, anything I don't have to cook, Kathy. Nothing wrong with Honey Nut Cheerios. I tell you, that's good. That's good eating there. And Lacey Lemke, mwah, good morning to you, darling. Hope you're having a great morning. Lacey is also promoting that book there, and her God Erasure ebook. That's Zen of the Misty Veils. Yes, I see it now. Zen of the Misty Veils. That's her fantasy book. Please check that out. Available on Amazon right now. Her first foray into fantasy, and I'm looking forward to reading that. And check her out. Also, she was on a recent episode of Clever Tile Penning. She was amazing. She was fantastic. I get such good guests. I do nothing, but I get some good guests. So please check out Lacey's past episode of Clever Tile Penning on the channel wherever you're watching this now. So anyway, Michaela J says, "Oh, Christian, you know how to sweet talk a girl." And Amy Hale says, "Of course she got hers first. You're supposed to secure your own mask before helping your children." That's true. And she's been raising me for 30 years now, Amy. So, and this is all she could do. Give her a break. All right. So, but yeah, we picked up some. I don't think it's the house blend, but it is like one of the labels that Kroger puts out, and they had on sale for $5 ground coffee, and this is actually quite good. It's the morning blend, and I'm really enjoying it. So we've got all kinds of coffee on the counter now. And we got some for Christmas from Charles F. Millhouse, and we're almost out of that stuff, man. We gotta come visit you so we can get more. Anyway, Skunk Rocker has announced his presence. Skunk Rocker, hey everybody, good to see you, Skunk. Hope your morning is going well so far. X and G Studios says, just to let you all know, we are still on the chase for 100 subscribers for From the Desk of a Small Press Publisher. Our next guest will be comic artist Michael Pennick. That will be great. I believe it will probably be this Saturday at 10 p.m. On his YouTube channel. Please check out his YouTube channel. That's X and G Studios. Please write that down and subscribe to that channel. It is a great channel. Joe D. McPhee, a Chicago-based comic book artist, does some great work. I'm so proud of him. And I was on his show last Saturday, and we had what seems to be a good time. I had a good time, and Joe had a good time. We hope our listeners had a good time. And I got nothing today. I'm just glad to be here. Well, Skunk, we're always glad you're here, brother. You make our day. You are such a great guy. You really are very talented. And also on Stupid O'Clock. So if you want to get to know the Skunk Rocker better, check out Stupid O'Clock tonight at 9 p.m. on the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. And Brian Rodman, thank you for being there last night. Good morning, my fellow Brian and Nevermorians. 'Tis the hump day. Let us grab it by the toenails and make it ours. Tonight, the Dingoes will be recording with the illustrious BKM. Is that like the notorious BIG? And the Lord of the TARDIS himself, Christian Basil. Brace yourselves, folks. Yeah, Christian and I are already prying the train off the rails. So anyway, next week, our episode of on imposter syndrome and being in an overworked culture will hit the YouTubes with these two crazy cats. And I'm looking forward to it. I always have a good time getting my dingo on. And Christian's suddenly alert and awake now. Yes, that's what you got to look forward to. Bring your dingo with you, Christian. So anyway, check out the Dastardly Dingoes tonight at 8 p.m., 7 p.m. Central Time, where we talk about imposter syndrome and other things. So anyway, looking forward to it. It's going to be a great discussion, and we're going to have fun. There is no other choice. And don't forget, the Eric Hawkins says, in the last week, Brian, Amy, and I were announced to be attending Big River Comic-Con in April. That's true. We are going to be there, and let me get that address. If you subscribe to my newsletter, you would have the address already. Just saying. But yeah, thank you to Deb's Logue for making me a guest this year at Big River Comic Con. I am so looking forward to it. It's my first year there. I know Amy's been there before. I think Eric may have too. I'm not sure. But yes, that will be the 23rd and 24th of April. Please mark your calendars. And it's going to be at 6400 County Road 445 in Hannibal, Missouri. And Hannibal is a great place. If you skip us to go to Mark Twain Village, I'll understand, man. I could get lost in Mark Twain Village. And it's not there anymore, darn it, but there was a coffee house and cafe. Cookie and I went down there one time. I want to say it was for our anniversary. we decided we were going, it was 2004. I remember that. And we decided that we were going to spend a couple of days in St. Louis. We had an agenda, and then we were just going to make our way up the west side of the state to Sterling, Illinois, and have dinner at this one Mexican restaurant, La Familia, that I went to and I just absolutely loved. I want her to experience it. Well, we got everything we wanted to do in St. Louis done in that morning. We got there, and we're like, "This is boring." So it's like, well, and she said, "Well, let's go explore the west side of Illinois anyway." So we canceled our motel room and drove down to Chester, Illinois, and went to the Popeye Museum. Met Debbie there, and had a great time. Then made our way back north and stopped in Belleville, of all places, and went to a restaurant we like there. Spent the night there, and then made our way up to Hannibal and spent most of the day in the Mark Twain Village. And while we were there, it was Halloween. We went there on Halloween, I remember now, and we picked up. Um, we were in this cafe, and every purchase you made, he gave you a CD of big band Halloween music, and it was lovely. And at the end of it, he tacked on the theme to the movie, The Blob. The original Steve McQueen movie, and it was so much fun. And we played that thing. We had that thing in my car for about 2 months. We just played it the hell out of it. We still have it. It was great music. And then we made our way up to Sterling and had that dinner, and then just kind of took the back roads back to Champaign. And it was a wonderful, wonderful Halloween weekend. So, but yeah, we are going to be at Big River Comic Con, and the guests are starting to be announced. So please do a Facebook search for Big River Comic Con, and please, please attend. I know that every precaution will be taken there. And I'm so grateful to Debs for reaching out and making me a guest, and we'll be hanging out, Amy and Eric and I. Brian Rodman says, scamper on over to that address there for the Dastardly Dingoes after this fantastic broadcast, and catch up on the latest episodes of the Dastardly Dingoes podcast and our new show, Indie View with Chad Nuss. Jump into our shenanigans today, and they have wonderful shenanigans that would deserve your footprints on them. So please, please check it out. Charles F. Millhouse says, I saw a tease for the cover of Pulp Reality #2 by Clayton Merwin. It's going to be awesome. I saw that too. Clayton knows how to do anything but do bad work. He is amazing, and I am so privileged to be in there. I'm going to be teamed up with the amazing Candace Camilleri, who Candace and I are already talking. I'm going to get that story to you by the weekend, and I'm going to get some points in the story where I think Candace would really excel. And I'm more than halfway through my second rewrite. It's coming out well enough that I'm going to go through my what I call my audio edit, where I run it through speech to text and do an active listening to it to catch more errors. And then I'm going to shoot it to you, Charles. And then once I get the green light from you, I'll start working with Candace. Okay. And so anyway, I'm really excited. It's my story is going to be a team up with I was going to do a Captain Hawkland team up with my character Doc Saga, but I'm afraid that's not to be because of the time period. He's Lieutenant Hawkland. I'm so excited. I am so glad for that, and I'm really having a great time writing that character. And it's turning, and I could see that if I had the room to expand this, Charles, it would turn into a road movie, if you know what I mean. But I think they take turns being Crosby and Hope is the problem. So anyway, it's I'm having fun writing that story, and I've got an idea if you'll have me for issue 3, maybe, or at least 4. I came up with a character last night. And Kelly Siebold, hey Brian, how are you? It's my second ever book release today. Well, congratulations, Kelly. Good to see you, darling. And definitely tell people where to get it. Tell people where to get it. Give a little hint about what it's about. Because looking forward to it. And shout it from the rooftops, girl. I'm telling you, Kelly, good for you. And Kyle Guthrie is shouting it from the rooftops already, saying join Glowcat and Skunk Rocker every Sunday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central Time for the Scrubhouse Video Club Live, a discussion on schlocky cinema from cheesy humor films to brainless action flicks, dumb kid movies to insane martial arts pictures. And the Scrubhouse Video Club loves it all. So easy to watch on not only YouTube, but also Twitch TV and on Facebook. Now, the Scrub House Video Club is rated Web MA for language and is considered not safe for work, which means you turn your speakers up way high if that's your last day. And what is the difference between a duck? The hard questions get asked on the Scrub House Video Club Live. Check it out. It's a great time. Good show. And Brian Robbins says, in 23 days, the latest issue of Memoirs of an Angel will be dropping on Kickstarter. Our goal this campaign is to get over 100 backers. We've gotten so close in our previous 3 campaigns, and I believe this is the one. And if you want to learn more about that, let me consult the Book of All Knowledge here, because I think I've got a special guest coming up. I do. It'll be March 9th. Brian Rodman will be on Clever Title Pending. Now, this coming week, on the 9th, we are going to have Glenn B. Fleming, who is not only a great comic book writer and artist, he is also a travel writer, is an expert in the JFK assassination, and also a comic book historian. So we've got a lot to talk about with Glenn B. Fleming. And in fact, to round out the month of February, just so you know, now my newsletter subscribers know this already. They're sitting back smirking, going, ha ha ha, latecomers. You can sign up at risingtide.pub for my free monthly newsletter. Anyway, we've got Glenn B. Fleming on the 9th. On Tuesday, the 16th, we've got Russell Allen of Russ Explodes Studio. And we're going to be talking about his Kickstarter and various other ventures. And then 23rd, we've had him on twice with other people, but now he gets a solo show. Brace yourselves. We have got the one, the only Bobby Nash showing up. BobbyNash.com, AbrahamSnow.com. And Bobby will be having the show. I'm going out for pizza after I introduce him, and no one will notice because he's so awesome. And then on the 24th, we're going to have a special episode with Luke Stone, who's just dropped a new Kickstarter for the next phase of his Hybrids Sons of Gods comic book. Issue 6 is being financed right now. And then we've got somebody less than special for March 2nd, but we'll talk about that later. I've got to reach out to the interviewers about that. So anyway, Brian Robbins says Memoirs of an Angel is a horror fantasy comic series about a ragtag group of infinite and finite beings who race through time and space to rescue a broken witch hunter from the clutches of the Dark Kingdom. It's Lord of the Rings meets The Exorcist, and you can join the adventure at brianrodman.com today. Also, don't forget, Brian's got a Patreon page where he's been giving us sneak peeks as to the progress of issue 7. I think I got it. Anyway, please check out Memoirs of an Angel. That is a great series. I'm really looking forward to the next issue. It's going to be a lot of fun, and looking forward to having Brian on my show. It's going to be a riot. And John B. Pica, hey there, friends and foes. John, good to see you, Citizen Pica. JohnPica.com. Also check out Impossibilists on Patreon. Good stuff happening. And oh my goodness, Brian, Clever Title Pending was excellent last night. Michael was a fantastic guest. What an impressive dude. Is he not? I mean, seriously, that man has got energy. I'm afraid what would happen if I got him and Nick Tockert on a Clever Title Pending with me. Your monitor would melt. So much energy coming out. I mean, of the 3 of us, I'm the calm one. But no, Michael was amazing last night. And like I said, I didn't know Michael that well. Got to know him a lot better last night, and really had a good time talking with him. We had a brief after show too. He had a very aggressive personal appearance schedule last night, and I'm just so tickled he could fit us in, seriously. And he just had so much to talk about. And again, please check out his Kickstarter campaign. He has exceeded his goal of $2,500 by almost $2,000. Let's see if we can get him up to 4,500. That would be amazing if we could get him up to 4,500 before the end of the show. And he reached his 100 backer goal. Let's definitely get him above that. Let's spoil the man. All right. And definitely check out last night's Clever Title Pending. It was a fun show. When I'm laughing during a show, I'm having a good time. And 9 people watching this and 10 likes on YouTube. Somebody has not done their part. So yes, please, if you're watching this on YouTube, please smash that thumbs up if you're enjoying this video. And also, if you're watching us on Facebook, on any of the platforms we're on there, please like our video there if you would please too, and also share it with your friends. And thank you to everyone who shared this video so far. And there he is, one of the stars of Stupid O'Clock, John Scarborough. Good morning, John. How are you this morning? Good to see you, man. It sounds like looks like you and Skunk and Joe Dog, if you're helping Joe Dog at all, you guys are going to be busy today. You're virtually on a 24-hour watch today. So anyway, John, glad you're here, man. Always love having you here. And Brian Robbins says, black coffee for breakfast is how I do things every day. Yeah, it's more than black coffee in bed is more than a squeeze song to me, if you know what I mean. There we go. Charles F. Millhouse, did anyone check out the Justice Society World War II animated trailer? It looks sweet. No, I didn't know that dropped. Ooh, Brian loves him some Justice Society. Oh my God, I love the JSA. What a great group. And I tell you, I talk about if I ever got the nod to write for DC, I would love to do JSA. And I tell you one thing I would do, and I don't mind giving out the secret. It's not a secret because I know I'll never get to do it. I would love to write the Spectre. I love the strip. And it's one of those strips that it's either been at times or so incredibly good that it hurts. I love the original Jerry Siegel, Bernard Bailey stuff. The first year, in fact, was amazing stuff because it played up the fact that Jim Corrigan, after he becomes a Spectre, basically is a reanimated corpse, and he has to do things like consciously remember to breathe. Or, Jim, your skin is cold. Why is it that cold? That sort of thing. And they kind of got away from that. And then there was like the Gardner Fox, Murphy Anderson runs, and later on Neil Adams did some great stories in the Spectre magazine. Bernie Wrightson drew a story for the Spectre, and then there was a period with, of course, John Ostrander and Tom Mandrake did about 5 years worth of Spectre in one of the best incarnations ever. So yeah, thank you, Charles. I'm gonna hunt that down. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate it. And back of the cereal box, Clever Tile Pending was amazing. Thank you, John. I appreciate that so much. It means a lot to me. And glad you enjoyed it. Glad everyone enjoyed it last night. Everyone had a great time. And thank you. And I've got to thank you all for your great questions. And I'm not talking out of school when I say that Michael and I, like I said, we talk. I always like saying goodbye to my guests, give them a nice formal goodbye and let them know that I genuinely appreciate taking the time to talk with all of us. Because it's not just me on Clever Tile Pending, but he said he just raved about you guys. He seriously did, about how awesome your questions were and the great chemistry you all had with each other and with me. And all I could do is just tell him how proud I am of you guys. So thank you all for your participation. And yeah, John, definitely talk to Michael about being a guest on Back of the Cereal Box. Seriously, you can see how much fun you're going to have. And someone update me, says Amy Hale. Does YouTube hide comments with links? I thought I remembered hearing that somewhere. What they do, Amy, is they will not show them up at the time they do it. But if you go back, I think you can set it up that you do allow them. It was somewhere in the setup, which I found afterwards. Okay. After I started broadcasting and stuff. So I had to backtrack and set these things up. And there is some setup you have to do. Like you can have it default that your program is not for kids. And that's very important right now, because if you do an adult-based show and it's not labeled not for kids, you actually can get some hefty fines from the FCC about it. So that's one thing to definitely check out. You go into your edit this program, and it once you do, at least I set it up and it's been good ever since. I wish I could get my metadata to constantly automatically update, but I have to go in and actively put that in, which I forgot to do for this show. But I'll fix that later this afternoon. But anyway, yeah, they do blank them out, but I actively go in after the show once it while it's still processing, and I will okay the links, so the links will show up. So anyway, which is a good reason to put in this little thing later, so that we get a reminder about Michael Watson's book, Chat and Draw Comic Book Art comic art books, because he's just passed his 100th episode of Chat and Draw, where he draws the character of the person he's interviewing. And it's a great show. And let's see, I don't know. I think we need to refresh that. But he is almost $2,000 over his goal. And he hit his goal of 100 backers. And we're still at 4461 with 100 backers. Let's see if we can get him to 4,500. So he's $2,000 over. That would be so cool. And John Scarborough, Costco breakfast blend on in the K-Pods. Ooh, that sounds yummy. We need a Costco in Lafayette. We really do. We've got a Sam's Club. But and this is terrible, but I keep hearing how incredible the food is at Costco. It's kind of like when you go to IKEA and you go for the meatballs. The meatballs are amazing. They really are. And we've got Costco in Indianapolis, and we've got IKEA in Indianapolis. And it's funny because a lot of my friends are like, they are part of that IKEA cult. And it's like they were handing out free sex at the doorway. It's like it can't be that good. And then we went down to the IKEA in Carmel, Indiana, and we came back and we're like, okay, now we get it. We were there for, oh God, how long were we in there? I mean, it's a furniture store. It's like it's not the sort of thing that Cookie and I get excited about, because basically we bought, aside from business chairs from Staples, virtually every piece of furniture we bought was at Salvation Army or Goodwill. Nothing matches. We don't care. No, I take it back. We bought one chair from a real furniture store, and that was it. But no, we none of our stuff matches. So we're kind of bohemian that way. But we went to IKEA and we were there. Oh my God, we had to have been there about 4 hours. You've been here 4 hours. You go home now. But it was, but we were walking around. I think we almost got lost trying to get out. Fortunately, I'm very good at retracting my steps. That was the only way. Otherwise, we'd still be there. But we had a good time at IKEA. We get it now. We understand it. But yeah, Costco breakfast blend sounds good. We like the brand we get. I'll have to figure that out later. And Scott Crocker says, wait, tonight at 9? I think you need more coffee, bud. You guys, no, I think you guys ought to be broadcasting tonight at 9 too. I think you guys ought to go 3 times a week. So there, skunk. No, it's tomorrow night at 9. What are you talking about, skunk? I don't get confused, but I am a carrier. And Clyde Hall, good to see you, Clyde. Hope you're having a great morning, brother. Hello and midweek coffee blessings be with you, Nevermorians. Oh dear God, yes. Apparently, according to Skunk, I need more. More. How do you like it? Little Andrea True on the side, but yeah, straight from the pot. That's how I like it. That's all I can do to keep from drinking it from the pot. But anyway, Clyde, good to have you here. Hope you and Virginia are doing well. Eggs and G Studio says they missed the magic last Saturday. So many promos, so little time. We gave a clinic on how to promote others. Too much fun. I had a blast, Joe. I had an absolute blast. We're going to do this again more than once, man. That's what she said. And but no, it was a great show. Please check out Joe Eggs and G Studios chat show on Saturday nights at 10 p.m., 9 p.m. Central. Always a good time, and it's a great conversation. Yeah, we talked a lot about promotion, how to promote yourself, and the benefits of promoting others. It's definitely a show worth watching, and it's such a good time. I think we laughed pretty hard during that thing and afterwards. So, and Skunk has his own podcast now. It's a movie fan site, says John Scarborough. Scrubhouse, www.scrubhouse.com. Check that out. I didn't realize he had his own website too. He doesn't talk about that. Come on, Skunk. But anyway, John Scarborough, thank you for sharing that, man. Yeah, Skunk does a great show. I love his movie show. I really do. Eric Hawkins, Amy Hale, you have to be a moderator for a channel to post links in the chat and then be visible for the rest of the chat. Okay. I didn't realize that. I'm still learning this YouTube thing. My recent success in YouTube has been thrust upon me, and I'm kind of learning as I go. But right now, and also, I may be doing some experimenting with StreamYard soon. got some ideas there. In fact, and Eric, we are going to do that comic show, and Clyde Hall, I'd love for you to be involved. And I've got another, and Brian Rodman. I just have to schedule it for a Tuesday. Please keep on me about it because I think we're going to have so much fun. And speaking of so much fun, there's Ryan Permisson. Good to see you, Ryan. And I haven't forgotten about you either, brother. I'm looking at my dates, trying to get a good date for me to appear on your show. Anyway, good morning, Nevermorians. How are you? I have checked them. They turn their head and cough. They are absolutely fine. Check out the channel today and make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Go to YouTube and check out Nerd Culture Channel. I have subscribed to that, and I believe it's making my hair grow back. I'm not telling you where, though. And Scott Crocker says, Amy, yes and no. The person who owns the channel, and during live shows, their moderators are allowed to post links. However, viewers of the channel of live shows are not. You can get around that by, let's say, your channel, Amy Hale, and then spell out the word dot and then com, or authoramyhale.com. Spelling it out will get past it, and most people can figure it out by now. So yeah, but the problem is I don't think you can. No, yes, you can. Well, Amy, I guess I'm just gonna have to make you a moderator of this one. So anyway, thanks, Eric. Good to know. Yeah, we're all learning this together, Amy. I just learned just now too. And Scott Crocker says it's to attempt to stop spam. Sorry, that's why I always post my SVLCL links on Facebook, despite the fact that Facebook uses my real name and not my cool furry nickname. And he shaves his nickname often, which is why it looks as good as it does. And Skunk's got great hair. So anyway, Ryan Permisson says, check out the Patreon today and select what tier is right for you. So definitely check out It's Nerd Culture on Patreon. Check out the Patreon. There's a lot of people there who are offering their creativity for you to see before anyone else and to get comments on, like Amy Hale, Eric Hawkins, Ryan Permisson, John Pica as the Impossibilist. In fact, we do want to give a shout out to our Patreon subscribers. And there they are. Please check out what they do. And they're all on Patreon and have their own pages. So please, and definitely check out, give Cindy Kip some love. She deserves it. So anyway, there's that. And all right. And what was I going to do here? I had something else I don't know why I was scrolling down here, but anyway, it's like I walk in, it's like I'm old now. I walk into the bathroom and wonder why I went in there. But anyway, please check out those Patreon pages. All right. A lot of good stuff happening and makes sense. Thanks, Skunk Rocker. And Skunk Rocker says, no problem. That's what he does. And Ryan Permisson, for all you Funko Pop fans, here's your new obsession, mysterygrail.com. Oh, I have got to check that out. I've got to check it out. Well, I'm wondering, I can see the addresses as they are typed in, I guess, because I own the channel or whatever, but don't let that stop you. If I will go back and I will try to make sure that your links are visible later on. So, because we do get a number of people that watch on the rerun. In fact, our shows are good for a minimum now of at least 30% increase in audience on most platforms. The Rising Tide Broadcast Network is still building, but on YouTube and on my previous Facebook platforms, which was my personal page and the Rising Tide Publications page, on all of those, we get a minimum of a 30% increase of viewers. And our viewers are not bad. Our viewership is going up. Thank you to everyone who's helping with that. But yeah, we get a 30% increase over the first during the first 24 hours on the whole. And we had one clever tile pending that we actually tripled our views in the first 24 hours. And I'm not talking about triple, and the views were respectable to start with, but we're talking after the first 24 hours. We had one clever tile pending recently that we tripled the number of people, and some people have, like we've had some people on that their shows are still getting back viewership, like the first one Amy Hale did. That one we've got quite a number of views on that between all the platforms we were on. So yeah, but anyway, Funko Pops, I saw the one I want. They are launching a new series of comic book covers in a hard plastic case, and it's a 3 3/4 inch tall Funko Pop, and the one they're starting with is Action Comics #1. Oh, I want that one. I want that one. I'm going to get it too. Anyway, X&G Studios Inc. says, you know what? We forgot to show people the art and technique of licking the spine on the show. That should have been what we were talking about after the book lesson. Yeah. Well, we got that in last night with Michael, who didn't run scared. So yeah, and I will endorse. I don't think Julie the book broad will be real happy with me, maybe, but actually, Book Launchers is if you have a nonfiction book, they can help you get that to market. They are not a vanity publisher in that you get to keep the rights, and they will help you every step of the way. And I love Julie the book broad. So look for Book Launchers on YouTube and tell them Rising Tide sent you. But she's a charmer, and she's got all kinds of great stuff helping people who also do nonfiction and fiction to put out their books and put out better books. But no, here's my endorsement. So anyway, but I did something I got. Excuse me, and I think Sarah has a fetish now about that. I'm going to have to discuss that with her next time I see her. But no, she likes to see me lick the book spines, and we did it last night for Michael, who was properly amused, thank God. And right now, Carl Witzman is wincing in horror. But anyway, and Ryan Permisson says, signed up for the Rising Tide newsletter. Can't wait to read it. Thank you, Ryan. That went out on the 1st at 5 p.m. If you got it, if you signed up for it before then and it didn't get it, check your spam filter. And also check out, if you're on Gmail, there is a media area that you can check there too. Sometimes it goes into the wrong folder, but let me know otherwise. If you signed up after the 1st, then you'll get it you'll get it in March, I promise. So anyway, just give Brian a second, he'll lick a spine. Well, Skunk Rocker, you are better than Chris well predicts. You know me so well, young man. And there we go. There is that link from Kelly to her brand new release on Amazon. Congratulations and good luck. And I learned how to use Bitly. Thank you. You're welcome. This is the learning place. Yes, if you don't have your own website name, or you're waiting for, in this case, like let's say you get on YouTube and you don't have 100 names yet. After you get 100 subscribers on YouTube, you are allowed to change your URL to make it a little more easy to remember, mostly for my sake. And so yeah, Bitly is the way to go if you don't have that direct link. And especially on Amazon, you notice how it converted your Bitly to an Amazon, amzn.to. See? And the thing is, Kelly, also, you can also tinker with the last part, that 3 OTEOAY. You can also tinker with that. And for instance, just to let you know, here's one. The free monthly newsletter, sign up at Rising Tide 01. Brian, how do you do that stuff? It's amazing. It's a miracle. So anyway, there's all kinds of cool things you can do with all this wonderful stuff, all these wonderful toys. And we have a whole bunch of really cool people that have checked in, and we are going to catch up with you guys come what may. But anyway, Ryan, I hope you enjoyed the newsletter. Thank you very much, and check out the secret links. I think you will be entertained. And John Scarborough says, hey, Skunk, what movies this week? And Eggs and G Studio says, cool, I will watch the Glenn B. Fleming episode. You know what? So will I. I'll be there for that. I think I owe Glenn to show up. Glenn is one of those things I've been waiting to get him on the show. Like, I'm going to get you, dude. And it's like, I get so many big shinies hitting me during the day that I'm like, I'm going to get it. I swear I am. And speaking of people that get it, there is Nick Tockard, who saved the day on lunchtime with the doghouse yesterday. Nick, you were awesome. And good morning, Nevermorians. The mighty Manatee Man rides to grant you blessings on this day of humps. And check out www.amazon.com/author/Nicholas Tockard. Check out the simple sword. if you want to do authoritative descriptions of swordplay, that's the book to get. It's an amazing reference book. And also, if you love games, there's a great pickup game called Big Stumpy Robots. Great system there. Nick Tockert is a genius. And also check out the Historical Fencing Guild, 8 p.m.s on his YouTube channel. Called the Historical Fencing Guild, of all things. And Tea and Lycanthropy from Amanda Tocker. Check out Coy Wolf, a great book. And John Scarborough says, I'd like to see The Phantom done a lot better. Are you talking about the 90s movie with Billy Zane? I loved that film. Of course, it didn't hurt. It had Catherine Zeta-Jones in it. And Patrick McGowan, who's been a big fave of mine since Secret Agent. But I don't know. That was about as good as it could get, especially for the time. I loved it. And Billy Zane's commitment to the Phantom was amazing. I would like to see more properties get respectful treatment like that. And Scout Cracker says, man, this is how weird and chill today is for me. I just got caught by a train. Oh, well, not even mad. Well, I'm glad you stay chill, man, because you've had some mornings where you have been sorely tested, and I think you deserve some chill, brother. So hopefully we're contributing to the chillness here. Brian Robbins says, oh, the Spectre is so amazing. My dream character to write would be the Shadow. I would possibly do my own take on it where he is more steeped in the occult and supernatural things, more along the lines of Hellboy and PBRD. That would be amazing. I mean, Brian, if it were up to me, I'd let you write that thing right now and yank it from James Patterson's hands. I am waiting to render final judgment on his efforts when I see James Patterson is writing a brand new Shadow book, but it looks like they're updating it, which I have no problem with. I honestly don't. But I saw the cover and I was particularly unhappy with it because there was nothing on there that said Shadow. And they don't use. I've talked with some friends like Jeffrey Hayes, and we all seem to think that may be a placeholder cover that was released a few weeks ago. And what little I'm reading about it, I'm not on fire about it. I really am not. The Shadow deserves your best and brightest because he's an iconic character. And I was also disappointed because I remember reading when Condé Nast, who owned the Shadow, said we are allowing James Patterson to write a Shadow book, and Patterson said, I will be writing this one myself. And I got, okay, we're getting the man putting his best foot forward. Instead, he's got a co-writer on it. I'm like, dude, that sucks. That's terrible. But anyways, not terrible. Someone who's not terrible is Lee Reese. Lee, thank you for being here, man. I see you on YouTube. I'm glad you're here. It's always a pleasure to have you. And watch last night's Clever Tile Pending this morning. Great show. Getting a little double dose of Brian on this hump day. Well, dude, I think they've got medicine now if you get an overdose. So anyway, Lee, thank you very much. I appreciate that. We had a ball last night recording that thing. Michael is a great artist. He is a terrific YouTuber, and definitely check out his brand new book, Chat and Draw Comic Art Books, to make one from the first 100 episodes of the Chat and Draw program. Now, he just recently got the 100 backers he wanted. I'm hoping he can get more. I'd like to see him hit $4,500 before the end of the show, and he's at $4,461 right now, and we have posted the link to that. But just do a search for Chat and Draw on Kickstarter, and you will find it. I'm refreshing the screen, and we're still at 4461. Hoping we can do better. Please check it out. And why, look, there is the link right there. Wow, thank you, Rising Tide Publications. You got it going on. And so does the Rising Tide Broadcast Network, which, by the way, is now a page on Facebook. Please sign up for that. We are turning that into a one-stop shopping place for our shows, which include not just Stupid O'Clock and Armchair Rocket Science, and Lunchtime at the Doghouse, but also TED Talks and Carl and Ted's Cigar Show. And let's see, what else have we got here? And Amy Hale's Creative as Hale. So Amy, you should have gotten an invite to become an admin on that page. So has Carl and Joe Dog. So you guys can start posting stuff on there. I didn't realize I needed to do that. So anyway, there he is, Grant Lankard. Brian, my man, hope you're having a wonderful day. Hello to my Nevermorian friends. Grant Lankard, I am, and even more so now that you are here. And I love you, Lobster Johnson, says John Scarborough. Oh, yeah, we loves us some Magnola around here, seriously. And back on the cereal box, hey, gang, I had to hop off to combat some toxic racist Comicsgate kid on Facebook. Wow. Oh, yeah, but it's kind of like spraying the house for roaches. You know what I'm saying? Oh, man. Yeah, I'm avoiding that Comicsgate versus SJW thing entirely. And I have to say that when I was really starting to educate myself on how each side was lining up, I honestly, John B. Pica, I honestly thought about not doing comics ever again. I thought this is such a toxic environment. And the thing is, I've got friends on both sides of the aisle. Who I respect and love very dearly, but I'm like, how can you get involved in this? This is, it's kind of like politics. It's like most of the people in our government are probably moderate or just slightly one side of center or the other, but it's the people at the far nutty ends that get all the attention. And I'm not calling people like AOC or Bernie Sanders really nutty. I just don't agree with all their philosophy. But then there's like those, what is it? Those MAGA types. There's the one guy from John Hawley, where it's like, dude, just call yourself a traitor and be done with it. And then there's that one blonde lady. I'm blanking out her name right now, and we don't need to print it here. I won't read it out loud anyway, because I think if you say it 3 times, she pops up, and you can't get rid of her. But she has been not only saying that the election was bogus, but 9/11 was a hoax. Columbine was a plot, from the Illuminati or whatever. Anyway, she's nuttier than a crate of Snicker bars, and the sooner people like her are out of our government, the better. But yeah, John, good luck with you for fighting the good fight there. But man, you are. It's kind of like nailing jelly to a tree. You just have to wonder how much the effort is worth it. You're not going to change a whole lot. And it's like the old quote, trying to talk to some of these people on both sides of the aisle is kind of like trying to teach a pig to sing. It wastes your time and it annoys the pig. So anyway, let's get back to better subjects like Michaela Jade saying, hey, Grant. And Michaela is up to 85 subscriptions. Oh my gosh, let's get her 15 more. Please look up author Michaela Jade on YouTube while you're watching this. Open another tab and please just subscribe. It will help her so much. And Charles F. Millhouse, I love to write the Shadow too. Dream character. Mine too. Seriously love the Shadow. And I'm more the early days guy. See, for those of you who are casual Shadow fans, if I say the name Kent Allard, it will probably mean nothing to you, but that is the true name of the Shadow. Lamont Cranston was a legitimate character, but he was like this playboy wastrel who, whenever the Shadow needed his identity, he'd give like the guy some money and book him a cruise for like about 3 months to go overseas. And eventually, I just have this vision of like, one day he tells Cranston, okay, I'm taking your identity. It's really useful. Here's money. Go live in Europe. Go someplace nice, where they're not fighting World War II or something. But yeah. Yeah, Shadow I'd love to write Shadow. Who is it? Secret Agent X9 I think it is. I love that one strip. I read a few of those stories a couple of years ago, and I'm like, wow, this is a great character. But the thing is also, Charles, we can also create our own great characters. Like I said, I came up with one the other night. It's kind of an extension of one I've done already that hasn't seen print. But I'm just so in love with it. I'm going to work it up and pitch it to you for Pulp Reality. And XNG Studio, go, Michaela, go. You are further than I. Well, everyone, please, while you're at it, check out XNG Studio Inc. on YouTube. And please, 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 if you love me, if you love me, you'll sign up for those pages. Also, Amy Hale has a page back in the cereal box. Let's get everyone over 100. Okay, that's the goal. All right. And if you don't like me, uh, success bothers me. Okay, so seeing these people succeed will just ruin my day. So please like them and make me unhappy, please. Anyway, no, I want to see you get up there. I want to see you and Amy and all my friends get up to over 100, because you know how few people on YouTube have 100. In fact, where you're at, Jody McPhee, a lot of people don't even get as far as you've gotten. And the fact is, I've got over 400 right now. Thank you to everyone who's subscribed. I could use more. Um, we're in rare air. So be proud of what you've done, and know that you don't have, I don't want to say you've got a long way to go, but you're already making progress, and I'm proud of you. I really am. And Grant Lankard says, a request for advice. I was going to do a review of an indie comic, but I don't really like it. For some reason, crapping on an indie comic seems mean, unlike a Marvel or DC book. I also don't want to lie. I hear you. And I was in a position also where I was thinking of starting a comic book review show, which I still plan to do. It'd be just my opinion on certain comics, and and not just current comics but past ones. And I realized I really, really dig. And then I got one from a comic shop. I will not say which one. The art is beautiful. The art is beautiful. The story, meh, is all right. It's not horrible. I've read it before. The dialogue is horrendous. Every single bit of dialogue is a cliche. Every bit of it. There is nothing that denotes personality. It does not forward the plot. The ending was kind of the art is beautiful. The art is gorgeous. Well done storytelling. There was no editing to be found whatsoever. It is a piece of crap, basically. Because I don't care how good the art is. If the story sucks, I don't care. And there was another one, and it was done by people I know. And I don't want to crap on it because it was one of those. I will say it was a team up book, and I won't be backing any more issues. In fact, I'm really reluctant to back anything else from this company, because basically it was like, let's bring these characters together, and there is no, how do they know about this menace anyway? They are not equipped for it. And it's just an excuse to have all the characters get together. I don't know who any of them are. I'm not introduced to any of them. There is no reason why I should give a damn about what the situation is or their parts in it. So it's supposed to be like 5 or 6 issues, and I'm going to get rid of the one I've got. I don't care. I'm keeping the stickers though. But yeah, in my case, Grant, I think it's like the old thing. Better, if you can't say anything nice, or just focus on the aspects, in my opinion. If there's nothing, then I say the best thing you do is just simply not review it. I agree with you. It seems like it's kind of like picking on somebody half your size when you review in a lot of these indie books. Um but where it's like fair game to attack DC or Marvel. And the thing is, the standards at DC and Marvel are kind of set in stone. In fact, if you watched Michael Watson last night, they told him, you're a good artist, but you're not the kind of artist we want at Marvel. Your style doesn't fit in there. Of course, now I look at Marvel styles and it's like, there's a Marvel style now? Since when? There hasn't been a Marvel style in about 15 years. Because you can have a hyper realistic artist like a Joe Bennett drawing, and then the next issue you've got somebody who looks like Scotty Young, who is an incredible artist, but not the same type. And you can go back and forth like that, and just a little jarring. But yeah, I would say if you can't say anything nice, just don't bother. To be honest, because you don't want to crap on somebody's dream where loving protectiveness of, and I would do that also for like Dark Horse or Image. I feel they're fair game because they're bigger and they can take it. And a lot of those guys have been in the business for years, but you don't know if you're saying the one thing that will make an indie person who could grow into somebody very talented, and you speak from the heart and tell them honestly what you felt, and they could be like, well, I don't need to hear that. I'm giving up, and I don't want to have that on my conscience either. But there are some that develop, like you look at Barry Windsor Smith, who is probably most known for his Conan the Barbarian work. His first issue was Uncanny X-Men number 53, and oh my God, it's god awful. It is fan work. It is not even fan. It's good for that time fan level work, but how he got the gig, I don't know. Unless they just couldn't make the deadline. Hey, this kid's already got it drawn. Let's use it. It's not great, but he rapidly turned into an incredible storyteller with a beautiful, unique visual style that is just absolutely breathtaking. But his first couple pieces were pretty meh. But he showed the drive that he wanted to be in there. Because I understand he came from England. And Barry Windsor Smith, at the time he finally got his Marvel gig, was basically living on the street. And like, he didn't have a place to stay most of the time. So he'd be like on a park bench drawing his comic pages to get them done and make deadlines and stuff. So I admire that. But yeah, I think silence is the best thing. I'd love to hear what everyone else has to say on this too. And Luke Stone, good morning, Nevermorians. Good morning, Luke. Luke, saw you got a great big brand new Kickstarter, or Indiegogo rather, excuse me. Please put in that link, my friend. Put in that link. And ran out of creamer. Oh dear God, you poor man. Good thing I drink mine black most of the time. Although I like a little coconut milk in mine occasionally. Actually, coconut cream. That stuff whips up good. And should I just not review the book? I honestly, if that's the way you feel about it, I'd say no. Because there are some, like I said, there was a book that I backed recently on Kickstarter that the minute I started trying to read it, I had reader's remorse. I really did. I wanted to, if I had known that was what the book was going to be, I would never have pledged. And in fact, it turned me off to the point where I'm not going to pledge for any further issues. And I don't even know I'm going to really try to get anything from that company. I've been disappointed with just about everything I've seen from them, but one item. Okay. And Nick Tockard says, Swedish meatballs are great, but the endless idea is a terrifying SCP. Yes. I hear you. And Grant Liker, did you ever see that episode of 30 Rock where they said that a trip to IKEA is the ultimate test for a relationship? Well, I guess mine is going to survive and thrive. We had a great time at IKEA. We keep talking about going back like we're planning like a trip to Niagara Falls or something. And do you know who else promotes well? Asked Nicholas Anthony Tockard. CKOEPP.com. That's right. We have not talked about our girl yet. CKOEPP.com. Please check out her newsletter. She is awesome. And Michaela Jade, AX&G Studios. She just got you up to 60 because that gal knows how to do it. All right. Thank you, Michaela. You are awesome. I love you. Mwah. Oh, so good to talk to you yesterday. And Scott Carter says, yeah, I don't think the website's been updated in a while. We rarely use it except to sell merch. We should do something about that. Yeah. Well, let's promote you, brother. You are one of us now. You are a Nevermorian. Aside from a stupid clocker, you are now a Nevermorian, and we are here to help you, man. That's what we do, Skunk. That's what we're about. And honestly, it's hard to get people to write for free. Actually, the trick is don't make them write for free. Pay them. But some people, like if you can only pay in copies, pay them in copies. Give them a wholesale rate and let them turn around and resell it and make a profit. And there we go. And John B. Pica's got it, since links so appear on YouTube. www.johnpica.com for all the stuff, and www.impossibilist.com. Also www.serialboxpodcast.com. Check it out. He knows how to do this thing. And if it's showing up, it might be because he is an admin on his own page. It'd be terrible if we couldn't admin on our own pages, wouldn't it be? And Jeff Hayes, good to see you, my brother. Good morning, all. Jumping in to say hi. Working on a promo for Charles Millhouse's Evolution Man, due out this month. Back to work. Cheers. And that's don't forget, that is I think that's what I wanted to do earlier. I wanted to clue you all into plasmafiregraphics.com when the look of your book matters to you. Look at those beautiful covers. Look at that beautiful trailer there. That was all from plasmafiregraphics.com. Please check them out and let Jeff Hayes know that we sent you, all right? It won't get you anything, but it'll make him know that it's working. But anyway, then thank you, plasmafiregraphics.com, when the look of your book matters to you, for sponsoring this episode as always. And John B. Pica says, and dieselpunkpodcast.com. There we go. I think we got the whole set there. Collect them all. Win a prize. And Nick Tockert says, I know when Brian checked me, I thought there were scales under that glove. What do you mean? It was a velociraptor dressed as a nurse. Hashtag dino porn. Gosh, it's been invoked. Dino porn has been... Yeah, I had to explain that to Michael Watson last night. Thanks, everyone, for dino porn. Anyway, back in the cereal box, Chubby Pica says we are looking for contributors, video, audio, and bloggers, looking for game reviewers, comic reviewers, and cartoonists and writers. And licking books is not COVID safe. Well, I have left it out long enough, John, that the COVID should have died from it. And plus, I have been practicing social distancing since 2012. Everything in my career up till now has led up to this moment. And we are 25 minutes behind. We are going to try to catch up now. Also, wife Amanda Tockert says Nick Tockert was looking at the cover for Out of the Fair, Kivrin St. James' new novel on Nick's laptop, and then saw the wallpaper and nearly fell over thanks to Carl Witzman's alleged cryptid evidence. Has Amanda seen the one that I did yesterday? I'm doing okay with the graphics now. I'm getting the hang of this. There is a picture on Uncle Carl's Secret Humor Group, which you can join if you contact Carl or Carleen, Donna Carleen, or myself, or anyone who's on there, Michaela Jade. They can get you in, okay? But you must be unoffendable. We are very offensive there, but we're funny. And Nick Tockert has become the meme du jour. And I did something last night. I hope you liked it, Nick. I couldn't resist. But it makes me happy. It didn't take me long to make that. I did one a few weeks ago where I took Bernie Sanders and I put a fez on him. That took me almost an hour, but I told myself, I'm going to get this crap done. Yours took me about 10 minutes, and I'm like, I'm coming along here. So, so anyway, hope you liked it, Nick. It was meant with love. And Amy Hale says, they say you can change to a custom link after 100 subs, but so far they aren't letting me. I must be special in the bad way. Amy, remind me, I had to do something where I think I had to... I found that too. And I looked it up on Google, how to do it. Do a Google search, how do I change my URL at YouTube? And I think that's how I did it. It was kind of an operation, and I couldn't change, they wouldn't let me change all of it. So that's why mine is like Brian K. Morris Rising Tide Publications, which is why if you want to get around it, Amy, set yourself up a bit.ly address and you'll get around it. That's why I have my bit.ly address is YouTube BKM. So it's easier to remember. So that's one way to get around it. And there we go. Amazon.com/author/John Pica. Check it out. You must buy his books. Anyway, Scott Crocker says the theme for our Discord stream this week is the lesser-known siblings of more well-known actors. So, like, instead of Ben Affleck, it's Casey Affleck. Instead of David Arquette, it's Rosanna Arquette. Ooh, that's true. And there's also Clint Howard, who has been in a number of films like Rock and Roll High School and various TV shows. Was the star of the classic Gentle Ben show from the 60s with Dennis Weaver of Gunsmoke and McCloud fame. And follow basically his older brother is Ronnie. Oh, also Star Trek. He was on a classic episode of Star Trek. And his older brother is Ron Howard, the actor and director. And Scott Crocker continues, I have no idea what's winning right now, though, because it's still in the middle of the week and anything can change on Friday. That's true. And that's what we've got to look forward to this week. All the cool changes. And Brian Robin says, Laura A. Grace did a fantastic interview with Cindy Cap. Link in following comment. I have to brag on this lady for a minute. She learned all the Pokemon to interact with her 4th grade students better. Oh my God, that's awesome. What an amazing teacher. Not just an amazing teacher, but a fantastic writer. Head on over to ckoepp.com and see what I mean. Yeah, definitely. And while you're there, sign up for Cindy's newsletter and buy several of her books. She's awesome. And there is that YouTube channel right there. Thank you, Brian Rodman. We will check that out later. And Billy Zane's The Phantom was a near perfect movie. Billy Zane is working on a sequel, says back in the cereal box. Oh my God. Yes. He put everything. You could tell he was so invested in the character. I thought he was fantastic. And if he's working on a sequel, what would it be? 25 years later, by God, I'm still there. I'm seriously still there. And Angie Dudas is here. Good morning, mwah. Good morning to you. Glad to see you, Angie. Hope you're doing well. Grant has been behaving himself, I promise. The Skunkrocker says, people who think Billy Zane's The Phantom is a bad movie need to remember Green Lantern exists. Yeah, but what I love is that the actors from it have embraced it. It wasn't a horrible movie, but oh my God, it could have been so much better. It was, the whole thing is like, it was like the Green Hornet now, the recent Green Hornet movie, which I thought was a borderline bad movie, but it was the same plot as like every one of these comedy films in the last 20 years has been. The protagonist is a piece of human crap. But through struggle and adversity, he learns to become a better person and maybe even a hero. And it's like School of Rock. I mean, that was a decent movie, but you know, most Jack Black films are the same way. Most of a lot of these younger comedians are the same way. It's like you start out as an oxygen thief and become an icon by the end of it. I've seen it over and over. And that's how Green Lantern was to me. I mean, Ryan Reynolds was a good Hal Jordan, a good choice for Hal Jordan. But you see, that's the one thing I don't like about the revised post-crisis Green Lantern origin is that they introduce him right away to the Guardians of the Galaxy. The beautiful thing about the early Green Lantern Silver Age strip was that Hal Jordan had this ring he got from a dying alien, and he's told just enough how to use it properly. And for a while, the battery is saying, Green Lantern of Sector 2814, you are needed here. And he didn't know who was talking to him for the first year or two of his existence. And all of a sudden, then we get the reveal of the Guardians of the Galaxy. That should have been a ta-da moment, you know? And I would have saved that for the very end of the show and have that air of mystery. Like, who's talking to me? Why are they always right? It's one of those things. I would have definitely rewritten that script at least once. And Brian says, Nick Tucker, you are like cowbell. You can't overdose on cowbell. This song needs more cowbell. This song needs more Brian. No, not me singing. Anyway, Nick, thank you, brother. I appreciate you so much. And the best shadow writer has been Matt Wagner. Yeah, loved his shadow. It shows in his work that he is a fan. His shadow comics are like a love letter to the shadow. Yeah, same as Chris Robertson. He did a beautiful, very brief run of Superman before Flashpoint. J. Michael Straczynski got on Superman and Wonder Woman at DC, and they, to me, they were almost unreadable. Wonder Woman, he's like, you are aware of what this character was like before, right? Superman was basically redoing the hard-writing heroes. You know, I was telling everybody at the time when they were coming out, said, I've read this from Superman before, but it was called Green Lantern and Green Arrow back in the early 70s. So, yeah, but Chris Robertson took it over and brought it back so hard. I've been enjoying his shadow and Matt Wagner's. I agree with you 100%, John. Good stuff. And Charles F. Millhouse, I need more cowbell. Well, here I am. I'm your cowbell. And it's been way too long since I saw The Phantom for me to give my opinion, says Grant Lankard. Well, it's a good excuse to go back and watch it now. I love that movie. And need more cowbell? I mean, BKM asked Brian Robin. Boy, well, we've got a treat for you. If you head on over to patreon.com/Brian K. Morris and aggressively throw dollar bills at our illustrious host. Well, thank you. And remember, with just $1 a month, you like seeing your name immortalized forever in ones and zeros? Well, we got you covered there. There's our Patreon subscribers, and we appreciate all you guys so very much. And please support these people also on Patreon too. And Amy Hale is also got I've got to update this with Amy Hale's name. Amy, I'm so far behind. I'm sorry, but we'll get you on there. I promise I'll work on that today. Yeah, check out Patreon. There's a lot of great stuff happening there. Back of the stereo box is Lobster Johnson. The best story is The Mechanical Monsters of Midtown. Ooh, I've got to read that. I don't think I've read that yet. And Far Nuttians, I like that. I'm glad to help, John. I'm here to help. And Luke Stone has a link to The Killing Field, the brand new story arc from Hybrids, the Sons of Gods. And Luke, I'm going to get on that, brother. I will support you. I'm yours. I'm in your corner. Besides, I got the first 5 issues. I got to keep it going. And Brian Rodman, I have thankfully stayed out of the Comicsgate / social justice warrior debates. I'm not here for that. You and me both. I'm here to make comics and let whoever wants to enjoy them, enjoy them. Comics are for everyone. And if you don't see a book that represents you, go make it and find your tribe. Exactly. And I got to give credit to the Eric Hawkins, who I kind of poured out my heart to him one night. It's like, I'm watching all this stuff, and it's like, and I mean no disrespect to either side, really, because like I said, I know people on both sides of that particular aisle, and I have nothing but love for them. But the people at the far end of each one, I'm just seeing this, and it's like they're fighting some sort of ideological war, which they probably are, but I can't get into it. And I almost walked away from comics. And I have to credit Eric Hawkins for talking me back in. And this year we're going to put out some stuff just so you have some alternatives. And Grant Langer says they made a Spectre short film that's in Superman, Shazam, Black Adam. They did it as a 70s detective movie. It was awesome. Yeah. Why are the DC animated movies so much better than the live action ones? Yeah. I don't know, but you make a good point there, Grant. I would do, I've told people I would do my Spectre. I would take him back to the 1940s when he started, and I would do it in the vein of Sandman Mystery Theater. Very realistic, very scary, very moody. I would love to do that. And I did a great audio only episode about The Division created by Toxic Fandom. Back of the cereal box on iTunes, Spotify, or anywhere podcasts are heard. I would love, I want to hear that. Seriously, I'd love to hear what you have to say about it. Charles F. Millhouse said, yeah, I couldn't wait for the Shadow, but Night Vision premieres in the next pulp reality. Ooh. Well, I say we, like I'm part of the editorial team, but having a premiere of a new character every issue would be kind of cool, I think. Kelly and Clyde did new ones, and I've got an idea for another one, so I've got plans for you, Charles. Anyway, back of the cereal box for Tales of the Decoverse Volume 1, Nightwreck. I love that name. I created a mashup of the Shadow and Green Hornet called the Blue Phantom. That is getting released soon from 7th Star Press. Ooh, I love me from some 7th Star Press. Those are great, and I'll keep an eye on that. And John, when that comes out, let's talk about making this a part of your promotion tour, okay? Nick Tucker says that Shadow becoming a Lamont Cranston could be spun into a great psychological thriller if you went dark with that. Yeah, seriously, imagine that from Cranston's point of view, that all of a sudden he's getting important by not being around, or what happens to him when he does come back. And somebody said, well, Mike Cranston then this disappeared, and then the Shadow person showed up. Let's go rough up Cranston and find out what's going on. And Dueling Shadows. I'll be the one playing the banjo, John. I can just see that now. The weed of crime, bitter fruit. Anyway, Ryan Rodman says, Kent Allard, master of disguise. I absolutely love the classic Shadow storyline. One amazingly complex and intelligent character. Oh, yes. Yeah, and the thing is, most people know him like the radio show stuff, which were excellent. But the pulps were just so much more rich in their history. And I'm also excited, Brian, that Pulp Reality #2 will be the first official appearance of Doc Saga, unless your book comes out before June. Not at this rate. I'm very slow editor. I hate that. I'm gonna get some help on this. I really am, because you wrote an amazing story, and I gotta get that out. We're gonna get rid of those passive verbs, so I swear. passive verbs drive me nuts. Anyway, back in the cereal box, Grant, I will only do a negative review of comics I paid for. If the publisher provides it for review, I will only find positive things to say. Now, that's fair. That's fair. And I think in any case, I would say a positive review is you got to find something that is positive about the story. Like the one book I hated, seriously hated. I mean, it's autographed and everything. I'm seriously thinking about getting rid of it. It's that bad. But the art is beautiful. The art is gorgeous. The cover is gorgeous. The writing is one of the worst writing jobs I've ever seen in my entire 60 plus years of reading comic books. Seriously. And I've read some stinkers. I've read one called, there may be only one that was worse, and it was called Unreal Mind Warp Funnies. And it is so bad. It is racist. It is homophobic. It makes Jack T. Chick pamphlets look like Watchmen. Okay, you know what I'm saying? It is terrible, but this is a total piece of trash. But I keep it because it is an unfortunate reminder of how bad comics can be. So anyway, Scott Crocker says, my advice for Grant on reviewing comics is be honest and truthful and dignified, but don't be afraid to state what you think. And yeah, you can always say that I didn't care for the writing, I didn't care for the artwork, or the storytelling was weak, or the lettering has errors, and tell why. You know, as long as you can explain why, I think will make a difference. That's good advice, Skunk Rocker, who continues, I'd rather get good negative reviews on my work than bad positive ones because it means that there's something to be fixed and I can make it better next time. Exactly. And that's the one thing, I don't mind bad reviews because either they have something to teach me or they don't. And I've gotten people saying, oh, this book, I don't like it. This is terrible. But it wasn't their book. You know, it didn't speak to them, obviously. And a lot of people just tear things down to tear things down because they can't stand seeing people succeed. So anyway, Nick Tucker says, Brian, think of what Michael Watson said about getting reviewed, how it shaped his art. A civil constructive criticism into your review can do work for their careers. Nick, I'm 100% behind you. I got an audience back in the 80s with Tom DeFalco, who at the time was like the assistant editor-in-chief at Marvel Comics, and honestly has written some of my favorite comics, wrote great runs of Spider-Man and Spider-Girl, one of my favorite series ever. Spider-Girl was amazing, and has written for DC and Archie and Marvel, and was editor-in-chief in the early 90s. And I got a half-hour audience with him where he was taking my work apart and telling me what worked and what didn't, and was just so encouraging. I felt like at that point, I was like Michael at that one convention, but except I felt like I was that far from the door. And then of course came the editorial changes, and you know, no chance. But they stopped looking at unsolicited manuscripts. But I got some good encouragement from DeFalco, who was not 100% complimentary. And if somebody says, I love this book, and that's all they say, it doesn't help you. But if they say why they don't love it or why they do love it, that helps. So anyway, and I've got a book on Amazon reviews made less impossible on Amazon and Smashwords. Please check that out. Anyway, Grant Liker says, well, another problem, Skunk, is that I don't know if I can turn it into a full review. The thing is I don't like about it is just a really bland, boring concept. There's your review right there, saying, you know, just say I was not given enough information from the writer to get an emotional hook from it. I mean, turn this into a learning experience. If you had to criticize constructively this comic for the creators, like you were going to publish it for Monarch Comics, is there anything redeemable about it? Emphasize that. And the stuff that's not redeemable, point it out so that they can learn. I mean, you're probably not going to, it sounds like you're not going to be the only bad review they get. So, you know, just, you know, I'm not saying sugar coated, but be diplomatic. See, you can agree to disagree. And recommended comics that are amazing: Department of Truth, Crossover, Firepower, the latest Green Hornet series. Yeah, I saw Mark Wade's writing it. I love Wade's writing. And thank you, back in the cereal box, John B. Pike has subscribed to his YouTube channel as well. Yeah, I have to say, you know, you talk about books that I can't give a good review to. I'm reading some of the Future State stuff. from DC. I can't wait. It's a great reason for March to get here. Let's just say that. XG Studio says a lot of other indie creators always want me to review their books as a fan as opposed to an editor. They are more afraid of the criticism that can help than anything else, and that's sad. I mean, yeah, I used to almost cry when I would read reviews of my writing from other people before I started getting published. But that's what helped get me published, is the fact that I learned from them. And now I tell people I'm damn near bulletproof as far as if you review the work. Now, if you use it as an excuse to take pot shots at me, that's another issue, and then we've got problems. But if you say, I got Pulp Reality, Ron Fortier. I'll give him a shout out, and I love him for it. He actually found some stuff, and he was on target, I think. With he was reserved in his. I won't say he panned me. He did not pan my story in Pulp Reality #1, but he pointed out some things that I probably should have been more mindful of. And he was absolutely right. In fact, I wrote him and thanked him for taking the time to review and said, "Man, you said some things in there I'm taking to heart." And we had a good conversation then about the work. And he pointed out some stuff. He said, "Man, if I had some space, I'd tell you, here's the stuff you did right." And I'm like, okay, I know what I need to do from this point on. And I thanked him again for it. Now, Ron Fortier, I love his work, his Green Hornet. And I'm sure you've read it, John Pica, from Now Comics, to me, is the definitive version of the Green Hornet. It is great. Grant Lankert says, "I've noticed it too, XG Studio. I've had friends ask me for my feedback, and I realized afterwards that they didn't actually want honest feedback. They just want me to tell them how great they are." Yeah, and that doesn't help them. There are a lot of people that all they're looking for is for you to praise them and to promote them. And I have nothing against promotion. I live for promotion. But I get a lot of that, people, say, "Well, you've got to have me on Clever Tile Pending because I've got this book that's coming out." And it's like, I know nothing about the book and I know nothing about the creator. I bet my guess. I think it's irresponsible not to. That's why you get good guests like Michael Watson last night, or you get great guests, also good guests and great guests like Michaela Jade and Amy Hale, and coming up this week, Glenn B. Fleming, and we're going to get you on there too, Grant. You're going to get that tap on the shoulder soon, because we vet our guests and we make sure that they have some. It's like I keep saying, I don't care that you've got something to sell. I want to know what you've got to say to my people. Anyway, Scott Crocker, I really wish that we had an IKEA in Chattanooga. I didn't even have one in Knoxville when I lived there. That's surprising. I would think Chattanooga's big enough to have one, but I wish we had one that was closer. That's for sure. Angie Duda says, "I'm a very avid reader, and I once read a book that was so bad and kind of hateful that I had to give a bad review to save others from wasting their time." And that's perfectly okay. And in fact, the one book, the one book that I backed on a Kickstarter a while back, I almost want to say something to the editor who I know, kind of casually, but I know, and say, "Man, if you wanted this to be a way to bring people in to read all your other books, you failed, because you've lost me on this one." So, and I probably should do a review of it. But anyway, Skunk Rocker says, "That's not what I meant. I meant on the website. Like, we can't afford to pay anybody to write on the website, and the guys, gals, and non-binary pals that we had writing on it got burned out." Oh, yeah. There's got to be a way to recompense them for their time. If nothing else, maybe have them promote what they do. That might be one way. And let's get past this comment dump here. And Cindy Kemp, I see you there, honey. I see you there, darling. And she's like, "Don't call me honey, please. Don't call me chief either." And Ack, I almost forgot to "Please don't hurt me, Brian. You have a pass this time. You have remembered the error of your ways. Please remember, if you're enjoying any part of this video, whether it's on YouTube or on Facebook, please give it a like, because it helps everyone so very much. And Skunk Rocker says, "I just imagine that if we had a budget and we were able to pay our writers, then they wouldn't have gotten burned out so fast, and the website would get updated more than every 2 years. What's more than mine gets updated, so, and I've got to do that." Yeah, that's the problem, and if you could get advertisers, that'd be one thing, or like some sort of Amazon, what do they call it? Google AdSense is another one. Yeah. Burnout is a lot of problem, especially for when all you can pay people is an exposure. Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like I was approached several times by one person on a website to write stuff for them. and it's nobody that's on here. I will preface that. It's no one that's on my channel, no one that has ever been here. But he had a prominent, very prominent pop culture website, and he wanted me to write for him and said, well, we've seen your work. We love what you do. But you know what? We'll pay you in exposure. Okay. Exposure is what gets you 6 months at the county lockup if you do it near a schoolyard. But they weren't offering me anything else. And it's like at that time I was checking their numbers versus mine, and at that time I had more of a viewership than they did. So meh. Uh so yeah, there's gotta be a way to recompense people for writing for don't make it so there's so much they're writing for free. They get something from it. We'll have to work on that, Skunk. We'll have to work on that. And Ted Davies RS3, thank you for being you. Well, nobody else is demanding to be me, so I've got to take up the burden. Anyway, thanks for all the promo. Everyone have a great day. Ted Davies Archery, you have a fantastic Wednesday, man. Glad to have you here. Also, check out TED Talks every Tuesday morning at 10 a.m., 9 Central. It's always a great time when Ted talks, all right? As he's part of the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. And later, Ted from Eggs and G Studios, Clyde Hall. And I did not mean that about Doom Rocket. That was not about Doom Rocket at all. It was someone else. There are so many good comic books coming out monthly. It's not difficult to be positive. Promoting the good stuff and giving constructive critiques is a viable approach. Let omission be the negative. Now, that's wise words, Clyde. Thank you. And Clyde's a great reviewer, too, for doomrocket.com. That's a site, if I had the time, I would, if I weren't so distracted with other things, I'd do some work for. And Grant Lanker, I would think Patricia Arquette would be the most famous of those siblings. It's kind of tough because there's like isn't there like another sister? Or I'm thinking somebody else. Cindy Kemp is a day late and a buck short, but howdy y'all. Darling, you are worth waiting for. CKOEPB.com. Check out Animal Eye, her brand new book, soon to be a graphic novel near you. And also sign for her newsletter because she is amazing. We want to make this Cindy's year. I think we need to pick someone to level up, and if we gotta pick one person, I think Cindy is it. Although we are all gonna level up in 2021. Hang on. Clint Howard is one of our SVC's favorites, says Skunk Rocker. I don't think we've seen a single film he's been in that's bad. Yeah, seriously, he's almost always good. And he's in Apollo 13, which is one of my favorite films ever, directed by his brother Ron, of course. And yeah, he doesn't know how to turn in a bad performance. Even his schlocky stuff is heads and shoulders above a lot of other people around him. And hashtag bring Cookie home. Thank you, Cindy. Hashtag bring Cindy home. We need her working 24 hours a day on her stuff. And don't forget to tip your host. Thank you. Mwah. You go to patreon.com and you can be my patron for just $1 a month. And also check out Cindy's too. Amy Hale's got one. A whole bunch of us have Patreons that deserve your attention. And Scott Crocker says from YouTube, Grant, yeah, but David has been letters. Patricia wouldn't fit in the YouTube comment. Okay, fair enough. And because of those mittens, I come before you again and ask for your support. It's Nick Tockard at the Historical Fencing Guild on Patreon. Please subscribe to what Nick does. He's got some great stuff on there. What a great content creator and a good guy too. And check out his Friday show, the Historical Fencing Guild, at 8 p.m., 7 p.m. Central Time. And says Grant Lanker. Cindy Kemp says, sign up for Rising Tide newsletter. If you missed the last one, very sad for you. The secret links were cool, as were the updates. Well, thank you, Cindy. I'm glad you enjoyed those. I had fun finding those. I always try to do it the last minute, but I always make sure I like the videos so I can go back and look through my like history if I find something really cool. And glad you enjoyed those. I really am glad. And Bobby Nash, good morning to you. BobbyNash.com, AbrahamSnow.com. Check out the work of Bobby Nash, who, by the way, will be on Clever Tile Pending on February 23rd on a Tuesday night there, and he's going to heat up your Tuesday nights. He'll probably heat it up till Thursday. He's that good. Anyway, Bobby, always glad to see you, sir. Hope you're having a great, great morning. Check out the work of Bobby Nash. You'll be glad you did. And Scott Garger says, I almost brought up the Green Hornet movie instead of Green Lantern, but I know people that like Green Hornet. I'm like, I guess, but Seth Rogen, really? Yeah, and the thing is, Seth Rogen could have made it was a well-directed film, and the guy who played Kato, holy cats, he was amazing. He was a worthy successor to Bruce Lee. But it's just that the plot of it was so cliched. And then to have him turn around at the end and be a jerk again. I was like, oh man, I've had a chance to buy that film for $5 on DVD, and I'm not sure I want it that bad. It was, it had it really worked up its way to being something good, and I think a sequel would have been great with Seth Rogen as a true hero, not somebody who's a hero just long enough. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, Brian Rodman, I was legit angry when I watched Seth Rogen as the Green Hornet. They pretty much turned it into a parody. Kato was amazing as usual, yeah, but that was it for me. The Lone Ranger with Johnny Depp was the same. I hated both of them. Yeah, I saw Johnny Depp, just the promos, and it did not make me want to watch that film. I've not seen The Lone Ranger yet. I got it, but I haven't watched it yet. I think I need a lot of alcohol if I do, and I don't know if I want to watch it now with all the stuff coming about Arnie Hammer. I'm glad I watched The Man from U.N.C.L.E. before I read all that. And Skullcracker said, honestly, Seth Rogen just needs to do one thing in films, and that's it. Smoke more pot. Other than that, I don't really care what he does. It isn't going to be as good. Yeah, and, the only person I've seen that makes creativity come out of his pot smoking is probably Snoop Dogg, okay? Seth Rogen, just stay high with James Franco and quit making films. You've got enough out there that's polluting the airwaves. Nobody needs to see the same film over and over. And Cindy Kep agrees with me to tune into the Historical Fencing Guild at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern on Friday. Great fun for all, most definitely. And check out the Dastardly Dingoes for cool, nerdy fun. Check them out tonight at 8 p.m. When I will be the special guest along with Christian Basil. It's going to be a great conversation. We're going to talk about imposter syndrome. Please check it out. And see, I was right. It was Bobby Nash. Charles F. Milhouse just said so. And the Legend of Traveling TARDIS is for all things Doctor Who, definitely. Nick Tockert says, Kivrin St. James, Wixsite.com. His book is a fun and funny male romance. Looking forward to that. I think I'd like to read that. And back in the cereal box is fun for Saturday morning amusement, says Cindy Kep, so it's true. 8 a.m. Saturday mornings. And TerraformComics.com is crowdfunding the newest issue of Hybrid Sons of Gods. Check it out. Issue 6, looking for the Killing Fields. Looking forward to that. And Amy Hale and Michaela Jade are doing broadcasts too. Go find them on YouTube. Yes. Amy Hale is getting more subscribers. Yay. Also, Exig Studios. Please throw them in that mix too. They're getting closer to that magic 100 mark. Michaela Jade's just a stone throw from that. I'm really proud of all three of you. I really am. And Nick Tocker says, the Killing Field, there is the bit.ly address there. Get yourself into the world of hybrids. Now an amazing time. Also check out the trade paperback. There's a story by me along with Eric Hawkins in there too. And the back of the cereal box says the DC animated movies are so much better because the actual DC creators are creating them instead of marketing suits at a movie studio. That's probably true. You're got on the point there. And Willow's Pillow Talk is also doing snazzy stuff to check out, says Cindy Kep. That is beautiful and that is true. Thank you, Cindy. CKOEPP.com. Check it out. And each side, Comicsy and the SJWs need drama and a boogeyman to blame for everything they don't like, says Eric Hawkins. They mostly blame each other while the creators attack other creators. Comics are a vile business. Yeah, that was getting to me, but I appreciate you talking me off the ledge there. We're just going to make our own great comics, Eric, you and me, and Brian and Grant and everybody on here, and we're just going to be in our own little world, not to involve ourselves with that garbage. Skunk Rocker, that comment from John just reminded me of the Blue Morpho. That's a great name for a character. And YouTube, the Historical Fencing Guild, says Nick Tockard, with not only the weekly live shows, I will be doing more product reviews. Oh, that'll be fun. Seriously fun. Cindy Kep says, I got a peek at Roll Cruise's draft artwork of pages 18 to 20 of Animal Eye. He's almost done with that thing. It was the first major fracas. I will have to post one of those panels. In the meantime, you'll have to go check out his other art on DeviantArt. Definitely. And put some of that on your... if you haven't already, because I've been so busy with my story for Pulp Reality, I haven't been really keeping up on everyone else's stuff. Definitely sign up for Cindy Kep's Patreon page, and maybe she'll let you look at hers. Shut up, Christian. And Cindy Kep says you can find Nick Tockard, who is not a cryptid, on DeviantArt too. We're not sure if he's a cryptid or not, but I saw from a picture recently he's very horny. Anyway, back in the cereal box, he has horns. What were you people? Keep it clean. I just recently read Dynamite's Shadow series where he took a Moon Knight approach to the personality of Cranston Allard in the Shadow. Yeah. I like what Dynamite's been doing with their pulp characters for the most part. It's been really good stuff. And Brian Rodman says, once again, thank you for an amazing start to my day, Brian. Brian Rodman, thank you for making mine a great one, too. Thank you all for making this world a little brighter. I'll see you tonight, my friend. It's a date, 8 p.m. on Dastardly Dingo's show. Remember, folks, don't wait for this week to be yours. Make it so. Hashtag feed cookie. Hashtag bring cookie home. Hashtag laugh like the shadow. Who knows? Who knows what evil lurks in the hearts of men? The shadow knows. Cool. Anyway. Thank you, Brian Rodman. We will see you tonight, you and Jeremy and Chad, on the Dastardly Dingoes with myself and Christian Basil. Nick Tucker says, oh, I am also cranking out new art on my DeviantArt page for future projects. Yes, I love seeing that, Nick. Keep going. And confusing reviews mess with my head, like a low number of stars and wonderful praises in the text. Yeah, I got one of my first reviews on Goodreads was for Sandestein, and the reviewer, they never signed their name, but they gave me 3 stars and then talked about how it was one of the funniest books they've ever read. And I'm like, what do I have to do to get 4 stars from you? Cure cancer? What? Anyway, back on the Zero Box says Tom DeFalco knows how to write dialogue better than any other comics writer in the biz. Tom DeFalco's got great plotting sense also, and solid foundations to his work, just like Denny O'Neil. Like, there were some issues of Azrael. I could tell he was grinding it out, but it was still far more readable than anything else. Knowledge of craft is it, and DeFalco has got it in spades. Turned my writing around. He really did. And Cindy Cap says, oh, now to break, blarg. I'll catch up with you later. In the meantime, you want to check out Bill Sarn's artwork, a cool vintage cartooniness. Sarn Art 76 on the Book of Faces, the artwork of Bill Sarn, where everything old is new again. And Future State is so stinky. No kidding. I've only read once. I've read like 4 books. I've read only 1 story that's readable, to be honest. The rest of them have been back in Zero Box, I'm doing edits on the League of Impossibles comic now based on honest feedback from fans that will make it better. There you go. A good reason to sign up for his Patreon page, where you can leave your opinion. And Future State blows, says Eric Hawkins. I agree. I do like the art in Wonder Woman, but the writing is so bad. Yeah. And the writing was okay in Kara Zor-El's Superwoman. The Superman book with John Kent was unreadable from front cover to last. John Ridley's Batman writing has been solid, but I've read Dystopia before, and there's nothing there that hooks me. The newer Superman was good. I'm looking forward to reading the Lex Luthor book because I like Mark Russell's writing. I just gave it a glance, and it's kind of fun. In fact, they harken back to a page in the DC superhero cookbook from the 70s about him stealing stuff, stealing cakes from a bake sale. I'm looking forward to that. But 2 stories out of 5 books, meh. And you get like 3 stories in each one. Back in Stereo Box, Ron Fortier gave me the best review of my career for Tales from the Flip Side, which is being republished as Tales from the Decoverse from 7 Star Press. 48 is a great writer, and I love the stuff that comes out of Airship 27. He and Rob Davis are doing great jobs with that. And I'm going to try this. I'm going to see if I can get those 2 on a show sometime. That'll be lively. Back in the Zero Box, I was so hopeful about his Future State, but it's just a total mess. Yeah, it is. Probably the least favorite of any DC event I've ever read. And Nick Tucker says, if you vet your guess, how the heck am I involved? A moment of clarity, young man, a moment of clarity. And not even Nashville has an IKEA. Oh, seriously? Oh my God, how do you guys not have an IKEA? Oh my God, Eric Hawkins says, we've only had an IKEA in St. Louis for a few years. Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, and I've driven by the one in St. Louis. Of course, you have to get off of 64 to get on that one. That's like Murder Road there. Back of the Zero Box, Seth Rogen's Green Hornet was a good mindless popcorn movie, but couldn't decide what it was. Rogen's Britt Reed would not have survived the first conflict. Kato was awesome, though. Yeah, he was the guy who played Kato was also in a beer ad where he did some of the kung fu stuff. That was beautiful. He's a great actor. I want to see more from him. Nick Tucker said, I have spent nearly a year working on the hybrid stuff in the background with the amazing Luke Stone, and such good stuff is just on the horizon. Art must keep secrets. Oh man, I'm looking forward to that game. What? Time check. Yeah, I checked. We got time. Anyway, Oh, you probably heard my clock from the next room is saying she wants to be fed. Let's rush. Scott Crocker, well, it's about that time. Well, you knew it before I did. And I'm currently in an area that has very little signal, so I'll go ahead and say it. Don't die, feed Cookie. Skunk Crocker, love you, man. See you on Stupid O'Clock tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. Skunk, love you, man. Glad you're here. Back in the cereal box, Cindy Kemp is an awesome evangelist for everything we do. Thank you, Cindy. I agree. Thank you for everything you do, Cindy. You are the best. CKOEPP.com. Thank you for posting at John Pica. Grant Lankard, I read an interview with Bruce Timm. He said the problem with the live-action DC movies is the suits get involved. You can make an animated movie for under $2 million, so they don't mess with them. Good. And back of the cereal box is spoiler alert. Today's Avengers 42 retcons Thor's entire history by making him an Asgardian mutant. I saw that. Yeah, and I don't care for Jason Aaron's Thor anyway. That was overblown and dragged out. The Jane Foster stuff was good. I liked her story arc, but the rest of it was just like, oh God, just please, where's the sense of wonder that the Lee and Kirby and Conway and Len Wein and Walt Simonson Thor and again, Tom DeFalco Thors gave you, huh? And switching up accounts to boost Brian's algorithms. I love you, John. Thank you so much. And Ack almost forgot to plug, says Grant Laker, 2 weeks tomorrow, but until my Kickstarter starts, I can't believe it. Go to monarchpublishing.com.net and get a free comic book. And another amazing series is Once and Future. I'll have to look for it. And I loved Adventure Man. I read that, John. I want to own a copy. And your Alexa sounds funny, says John Scarborough. Yeah, Joe Dog's Alexa's nice to him, but it doesn't make him lunch. And have a great day. Keep it impossible. I love it, John. Great sign off there. You have a great day, my friend. And you mean it. Back in the cereal box. Catch you on the flip side. Big hearts to you, John. Thank you for being here, brother. Appreciate you much, so very much. And crap, is it Wednesday already? I'm on Mike S. Miller's Drawn and Quarter Pro Edition again tonight. Leave a time and address for that, would you, Eric? We want people to vote for you. And you blow those pros out of the water. And anyway, we're going to call it on this one. Thank you, Eric Hawkins. Thank you, everyone. Watch the show. Thank you to everyone who watched last night on Clever Title Pending with Michael Watson. Please go back and watch that show if you haven't already. He's a fantastic guest. He's a fantastic man. He is truly #most epic. You'll love it. And also check out his Chat and Draw comic art book. It's got 5 more days on Kickstarter, and it is the art from his interactive talk show where he interviews creators and draws their character. So please check it out. All right. Great stuff. And tonight, 8 p.m., I will be on the Dastardly Dingoes with Christian Basil. We're going to talk about imposter syndrome and probably everything else under the sun. So please join us for a fun time. Tomorrow, lunch time at the Doghouse at 12:05 with Joe Dog McKeel, who returns with Stupid O'Clock at 9 p.m. East. These are all Eastern times. Account for your own time zone. And then the Stupid After Show at 11. And then at 8 p.m., I will be on with Amy Hale on the season premiere of on Amy Hale's Angels. We're going to be on Creative as Hale, and she's pretty darn creative, and she's pretty too. But anyway, Amy and I are going to have a great conversation on there. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to laugh, and you will too. And then Friday, another Nevermind the Furthermore at 10 a.m. And then the Historical Fencing Guild at 8 p.m. on YouTube with Nick Tockert. Please check it out while you're checking out the Green Room on Uncle Carl's Secret Humor page on Facebook, also at 8 p.m. You can listen to them both. It's okay. And then Saturday, 2:15, check out Reels and Heels with Brian Wensloff and Nicole Jobin and Willow Schuyler on the Hanging with Web Show Network. And at 11 p.m., Stupid O'Clock returns. And at 1 a.m. in the morning Eastern Time, the Stupid After Show. So everyone, we got a whole lot of stuff on the Rising Tide Broadcast Network. And again, thank you to all of our friends on Patreon. And Amy Hale, we got to get your name on there for supporting our show. We love you all. Thank you. And please sign up for our Patreon where we have a whole bunch of sneak peeks of works in progress and blogs and all kinds of cool stuff. And also, please go to risingtide.pub where you can sign up for my free monthly newsletter. Next issue goes out March 1st. Last issue went out on February 1st. And we have unique videos, including secret links, inspirational quotes. We provide motivation, education, and inspiration with every issue. So please sign up. It is free. Did I mention that? And if you're watching on YouTube, please, if you like liked any part of this video, smash that thumbs up button, and please subscribe and tingle that little bell so that you get notified of any future broadcasts. We're going to be bringing you a whole bunch of really cool stuff I've got planned. You're really going to dig it. And also, please support other people that have their YouTube channels and subscribe, like, and share what you see there. And if you're watching us on Kathy Jackson's Books or Rising Tide Publications on Facebook, again, like this video if you enjoyed it and share it with your friends. Hopefully they'll enjoy it too. And also, please like the page you're watching it on. Show your gratitude to our host, please. And as always, I think that ends it for me this time out. I'm Brian K. Morris. Check me out on Amazon and Smashwords and YouTube and Facebook and other platforms as Brian K. Morris and Rising Tide Publications. And thank you to Geek Insider for powering this show. And thank you to PlasmaFireGraphics.com for sponsoring the show. Jeff, we love you, brother. Gotta talk to you soon, man. Miss you. And anyway, that's it for today. I gotta go feed my cookie. And hope you all have a great, great day. Looking forward to seeing you tonight on the Dastardly Dingoes. And as always, stay smart, people. Stay safe. Wash your hands. And never apologize for being awesome. That's just what you are. Have a great day. We will see you next time at 10 a.m. Friday for Nevermind the Furthermore. Have a great hump day.
Southwest of Chicago, there is a small, secluded cemetery known as Bachelor's Grove, and it is one of the most haunted places in the United States. Author Brian K. Morris brings you a collection of writings that will help you navigate this ghostly graveyard, if you dare. The Haunting Scripts of Bachelor's Grove is available now on Amazon.com. Get your copy today.
Thank you for tuning in to Nevermind the Furthermore, a Rising Tide Publications and Brian K. Morris production. Member of the Comic Book Advocating Network and sponsored by GeekInsider.com. Become part of our show with sponsorship and advertising opportunities. For details, contact advertising at GeekInsider.com or visit podcast.geekinsider.com. The Geek Insider podcast is available on your favorite app, so please hit the follow button and share it out to your friends, because if you don't, you might have to turn in your geek card.
Hazel always knew there was something special about her cat Mooney, but she's still shocked when Mooney opens his mouth to tell her he's just had a vision. An ancient evil has awoken after centuries of sleep, and only one man can stop it, the legendary warrior Beowulf. Unfortunately, it's been over 1,000 years since he slayed a dragon, and he's been reincarnated as this guy. His name is Victor, and he's more unemployed millennial slacker than mighty warrior. Go to monarchpublishing.net for a free sample comic.
Reels and Heels is a podcast that discusses movies, television, wrestling, and more. With a rotating guest list of friends and filmmakers alike, Reels and Heels salutes the creative arts of all kinds. Join Brian Winzeloff and Nicole Jobin live every Saturday at 2:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Reels and Heels.
Now, every Sunday morning, longtime independent comics creator and Indie Vault podcaster Randy Zimmerman hosts a discussion on the lighter side of comics, the more whimsical and fun comics out there on the Sunday Funnies. That's 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time every Sunday on IndieVolt, IndieVolt.com, the IndieVolt YouTube channel, and the usual IndieVolt sites on Facebook. Listen in, won't you? Participate in the chat. Let's have some fun. See you there.
This is the Legend of the Traveling TARDIS. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Subscribe to us wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. Also catch us on the HWWS Web TV YouTube channel. Subscribe today and become part of the legend.
Author Cindy Kep is writing on the edge. Books include Remnant in the Stars, The Loudest Actions, Lines of Succession, Mindstorm, Condemned Courier, the Yerushalayim series, and Animal Eye. Find author Cindy Kep at CKOEPP.com today.